Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. My name is Nurul Ali Atira binti Madhar Nizam and I'm here today to explain about the case study 1, which is optimal decision making at Global Tech Industry or GTI. Global Tech or GTI is a globally recognized Malaysian manufacturer of high-performance electronic components. The company is currently operating at 90% capacity and is facing several high-priority decisions that will impact its financial and operational future. My role is to provide a detailed analysis and recommend the most viable solutions to these challenges. The first challenge for GTI is to choose between two special orders from two different customers, Electrocorp and Tech Dynamic. Since GTI has capacity constraint, it can only accept one. To make decision, we will use a relevant cost analysis which focus only the costs that change between the two options. First, let's calculate the relevant cost per unit. These are the variable costs: direct material, direct labor, and variable overhead. We ignore the fixed overhead as it will be incurred regardless of the decision. For Electrocorp, the relevant cost is 70 ringgit per unit. For Tech Dynamic, the relevant cost is 67 ringgit per unit. Next, we'll calculate the contribution margin for each order. The contribution margin is the difference between the selling price and the relevant cost. The goal is to maximize the total contribution margin as this directly contributes to covering fixed costs and generating profit. Electrocorp's order of 12,000 units yield at a total contribution margin of 204,000. Tech Dynamic order of 10,000 units, despite being smaller order, is a higher total contribution margin of 250,000. Based purely on the financial number, I recommend that GTI accept the order from Tech Dynamic. This decision will generate 46,000 more in profit compared to the Electrocorp order. However, we must also consider non-financial factors: operational, strategic, or risk. For operational, Tech Dynamic order is 4 favor unit, which put less strain on the already high capacity facility. Strategic, Electrocorp is a new European client and accepting their order could open door to a new international market. Conversely, Tech Dynamic is a long-standing domestic client and maintaining this relationship is vital for business stability. My final recommendation remains with Tech Dynamic. Due to the significant financial advantage, the company can use the high profit to invest in future growth opportunities. In this fight, GTI is evaluating whether to continue manufacturing the Secret Z module in-house or to outsource its production to one of two suppliers. We will compare the total cost for each option. For in-house production, we'll calculate the total relevant cost. The key here is to only include costs that will be eliminated if we outsource, which in this case is 60% of the fixed overhead. The total relevant cost for producing 45,000 units in-house is 3,915,000. For the outsourcing option, we calculate the total cost by adding the purchase price and the annual quality inspection cost. Outsourcing to supplier A would cost 4,200,000. Outsourcing to supplier B would cost 4,005,000. From a financial perspective, the most cost-effective option is to continue with in-house production at a total cost of 3,915,000. It is cheaper than both outsourcing options. While the cost difference between in-house production and the cheapest outsourcing option, which is supplier B, is minimal, only a 2.3% increase in cost. I strongly recommend that GTI continues to produce the module in-house for two primary reasons. One, lead time. The case study does not mention strict customer deadline, but a 6-week lead time from supplier B introduces a significant risk of supply chain disruption. A delay of this length could negatively impact our overall production schedule and our ability to fulfill customer order in a timely manner. 2. Quality control. Although the company is willing to pay for additional quality inspection, this does not guarantee the same level of quality and consistency that we can achieve by manufacturing the product ourselves. Relying on a third party for a critical component like the secret ZAC module, even with an inspection process, carries the risk of unforeseen product issues, potential recall, and damage to our brand reputation. The level of control we have over quality in-house is a strategic advantage that is too valuable to give up. In conclusion, while producing the module in-house requires using our factory's limited capacity, the ability to maintain full control over product quality and avoid potential supply delay is a strategic advantage that far outweighs the small finance difference. This decision ensures the integrity of our product and maintain customer trust. The third scenario involves GTI's product, Nanocore. The company must decide whether to sell it at the split-off point or process it further into a premium product. The key here is to ignore the costs incurred up to the split-off point, as they are sunk costs and irrelevant to the decision. We only focus on the incremental revenue and incremental costs. Incremental revenue. The additional revenue from further processing is 45 ringgit per unit. For the annual volume of 25,000 units, the total incremental revenue is 1,125,000. Incremental cost. The additional cost to process further is 30 ringgit per unit, plus an additional 70,000 ringgit in annual maintenance costs. The total incremental cost is 820,000. To make the decision, we compare the total incremental revenue to the total incremental cost. The net incremental benefit is 305,000. Since the incremental revenue exceeds the incremental cost, I recommend that GTI processes Nanocore further into a premium product. The decision will add a substantial 305,000 to the company bottom line. The decision is not without its risks. First, operational risk. Further processing may disrupt other production lines by reallocating labor and equipment. 2. Market risk. While the premium market for nanocores is growing, there is always a risk that demand might not meet expectation. However, the benefits are compelling. First, increased profitability. The financial gain is significant. 2. Market growth. The decision allows GTI to tap into a rapidly growing premium market, which can enhance its brand image and future revenue stream. The financial gain clearly outweighs the risk, provided that GTI carefully manage the operational transition. The final part of the case study involves a CVP, cost volume profit analysis for GTI's flagship product, the Ultra processor. The company is evaluating two different pricing strategies. First, let's calculate the break-even point for the current price of 500 ringgit per unit. The break-even point is the level of sale where total revenue equals total cost and we make zero profit. The contribution margin per unit is 200 ringgit. This means our break-even point is 700,500 units, or 8,750,000 ringgit in sale revenue. Next, we will determine the number of units GTI need to sell to achieve a target profit of 1.8 million ringgit under both options. Analysis of option 1, maintain the current price of 500 ringgit. This is the more conservative approach. By maintaining the 500 ringgit price, we keep a high contribution margin of 200 ringgit per unit. To achieve our target profit, we only need to sell 26,500 units. This option allows us to maintain a strong profit margin and preserve the Ultra Processors image as a premium product in the market. Next, analysis of option 2. Reduce the price of 450 ringgit. This is a more aggressive strategy, assuming it will increase sale volume by 20%. However, it significantly lowers our contribution margin per unit to just 150 ringgit. As a result, to achieve the same target profit, we need to sell a much higher volume of 35,334 units. This is 33% more than what is required under option 1. Option 2 has the potential to increase market share. It requires a much greater sale effort and carries significant risk. If we do not achieve the projected sale volume, our profitability will be severely impacted. Additionally, a price reduction could trigger a price war with competitor and potentially damage our brand image. Given this factor, I recommend that GTI choose option 1. This is the safer and most stable option. It allows the company to achieve its target profit with a lower sale volume and a more manageable level of risk. The decision to pursue a more aggressive growth strategy, option 2, should only be made if the management is confident that the market will respond as predicted, and that the company has the operational capacity to handle the significant increase in production. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention.